The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly around the research vessel horizon, its sleek metallic hull reflecting distant starlight. Yoonji Park stood at the observation deck, her slender fingers tracing the glass panel as she watched the cosmic landscape. At 28, she was the youngest lead xenobiological researcher in the International Space Exploration Program. Her current mission focused on studying potential life signatures in the Andromeda sector, a region known for its mysterious energy signatures and unexplored planetary systems. The ship's crew consisted of 12 carefully selected scientists, each bringing unique expertise to their groundbreaking expedition. That morning began like any other. Routine system checks, data analysis, and the quiet hum of advanced technological equipment filled the research vessel. Yoonji reviewed complex molecular scan results, her dark eyes focused on the intricate details displayed on her holographic screen. Suddenly, a strange electromagnetic pulse rippled through the ship's systems. Computers flickered, navigation screens blurred, and an unexplained static electricity charged the air. Before anyone could react, a massive alien vessel materialized beside the horizon, its design unlike anything humans had ever encountered. The Karax ship was massive, its exterior, a complex network of metallic structures that seemed to breathe and shift like a living organism. Smooth, iridescent surfaces reflected and distorted light in impossible ways, creating an almost hypnotic visual effect. Alarms blared, emergency protocols activated, but it was too late. Precision-engineered energy beams cut through the horizons, defensive shields like they were made of paper. In less than 30 seconds, the entire research vessel was immobilized. Advanced tractor technology pulled Yoonji's section of the ship into the alien vessel's massive docking bay. She felt a sudden, violent pull. Gravity shifted. Her body seemed to compress and expand simultaneously, a terrifying sensation of being simultaneously present and elsewhere. High-frequency sounds that humans couldn't normally perceive bombarded her senses, creating a disorienting experience. When consciousness returned, Yoonji found herself in a sterile, white environment. Curved walls pulsed with an organic rhythm, and strange mechanical appendages moved around her restrained body. Multiple alien entities surrounded her, tall, biomechanical creatures with multiple limbs and translucent skin that revealed complex, internal structures. The Karax were known in limited xenobiological records as a species obsessed with biological research and genetic manipulation. They viewed other species not as sentient beings but as potential subjects for their experiments. Yoonji realized she was now one of those subjects. Her scientific training kicked in. Despite fear, she began observing everything. The alien technology, their movement patterns, the subtle interactions between different Karax researchers. Each observation could be valuable intelligence if she survived. Sophisticated restraining fields prevented her movement. Advanced scanning devices continuously analyzed her biological composition, mapping her genetic structure with terrifying precision. She understood that to them, she was nothing more than a specimen, a biological puzzle to be dissected and understood. Hours passed, or perhaps days. Time lost meaning in this alien environment. Yoonji's mind remained sharp, her survival instinct strong. She knew humans would be searching. She knew someone would come. What the Karax didn't know was that humans were different. Humans didn't abandon their own. Humans would fight, and when they fought with everything they had. Little did the Karax realize that Yoonji's abduction would become the most significant mistake in their species' history. Her capture would trigger a response that would reshape galactic power dynamics forever. As alien researchers continued their cold, calculated examination, Yoonji Park remained silent. But behind her calm exterior, a storm was brewing. A storm that would soon consume the Karax civilization in flames of human vengeance. The abduction was complete. The response was coming. The Global Defense Center in Geneva buzzed with intense activity the moment Yoonji's emergency signal was decoded. Admiral Jae-hyun Kim stood at the central command platform, his weathered hands gripping a holographic display, showing the last known coordinates of the research vessel horizon. Within minutes, every major world government was alerted. This wasn't just another missing research mission. This was a direct threat to human sovereignty in deep space. The International Space Defense Network activated its most advanced protocols, transforming from a passive monitoring system to an aggressive response mechanism. Satellite networks across the planet began tracking potential alien movement patterns. Advanced quantum computers worked overtime, analyzing every microscopic data point from Yunji's last transmission. Military research facilities that had been quietly developing experimental technologies suddenly shifted into high gear. In Tokyo, a team of engineers worked frantically on adaptive shield technologies. Their latest prototype could potentially neutralize unknown alien energy signatures. In Silicon Valley, computer scientists developed complex algorithms to predict potential alien communication frequencies. Moscow's Weapons Research Center focused on developing quantum disruptors capable of penetrating unknown alien defensive systems. Admiral Kim knew this was more than a rescue mission. This was about sending a message to any civilization that might consider threatening humanity. The response would be swift, precise, and overwhelming. The first task force was assembled within 6 hours. It wasn't a traditional military unit, but a carefully selected group of specialists. Combat veterans, xenobiological experts, quantum, physicists, and advanced weapons designers formed the core of this unique team. Their mission was clear: locate, rescue, and if necessary, destroy. Specialized spacecraft were prepared. These weren't typical military vessels, but advanced research platforms converted into combat-ready ships. Each vessel carried technologies that pushed the boundaries of human engineering: adaptive camouflage systems, quantum entanglement communication, networks and weapons that could theoretically dismantle molecular structures. Global resources were pooled. Economic differences were set aside. Every nation understood the stakes. This was about protecting humanity's future in the cosmic landscape. Military satellites tracked potential alien movement patterns. Deep space monitoring stations, which usually operated with minimal staff, now ran at full capacity. Every telescope, every sensor, every possible method of detection was focused on finding the slightest trace of the alien vessel. Psychological warfare experts analyzed potential alien communication strategies. They prepared communication protocols that could potentially destabilize alien decision-making processes. If confrontation became inevitable, humanity would be prepared to fight on every possible front. The rescue team's leader, Captain Seo-Yun Park, reviewed mission parameters. A veteran of multiple deep space encounters, she understood that this mission was different. This wasn't about standard military engagement. This was about sending a clear, unambiguous message to the universe. "We're not just rescuing one of our own," she told her team. "We're establishing a universal understanding. Humanity is not a victim. We are protectors. We are survivors." Training simulations ran continuously. Each team member was prepared for multiple scenarios, from stealth rescue to full-scale combat. They practiced communication protocols, alien encounter strategies, and potential rescue scenarios. Advanced medical teams prepared specialized treatment protocols. They understood that Yunji might have been subjected to alien experimentation. Specialized genetic repair technologies, psychological stabilization techniques, and trauma recovery systems were developed specifically for this potential rescue. The world watched, not with fear, but with determination. Every major news network broadcast updates. Social media platforms became unexpected war rooms with experts and citizens alike sharing theories and support. Humanity had been waiting for this moment. A chance to prove that they were not just another species in the vast cosmic ecosystem. They were a force to be recognized, a civilization that would fight, adapt, and survive. As specialized spacecraft prepared for launch, a collective human spirit emerged. This wasn't just a rescue mission. This was a statement, a declaration that would echo through the galaxies. No one touches humanity. No one. The stealth vessel Phantom approached the alien research station with calculated precision. Its adaptive camouflage made it nearly invisible against the dark backdrop of space, a technological marvel that represented humanity's most advanced engineering. Captain Seo-Yun Park studied the holographic display, her eyes calculating every potential entry point. The station was a massive structure, part biological, part mechanical, that seemed to breathe and pulse with an unsettling rhythm. Standard infiltration protocols wouldn't work here. Yunji had been preparing for her own rescue. During her captivity, she had become more than just a prisoner. She was gathering intelligence, subtly sabotaging alien systems with her scientific knowledge. Small modifications to their research equipment, strategic disruptions in their communication networks. Each action was a quiet act of resistance. The rescue team consisted of 6 specially trained operatives. Each member brought unique skills: advanced combat training, xenotechnology expertise, medical capabilities, and psychological adaptation techniques. They weren't just soldiers. They were humanity's most sophisticated response to an alien threat. As the Phantom breached the station's outer defensive perimeter, strange energy waves attempted to neutralize their approach. But human technology had anticipated these defenses. Quantum shield generators absorbed and redirected the alien energy, creating a safe passage. Inside the station, biological and mechanical systems intertwined in complex patterns. Walls seemed to move, corridors shifted, and environmental conditions changed unpredictably. Normal navigation would be impossible for an untrained team. But this wasn't a normal team. Advanced neural link technologies allowed the team to share sensory information instantaneously. What one operative detected, all could process. Their movements were synchronized, their understanding of the environment seamless. Yunji heard the first signs of the rescue. Subtle vibrations, a change in the station's internal rhythm. The Karax researchers around her became increasingly agitated. Something was happening. The rescue team moved like liquid shadows. No unnecessary movements, no wasted energy. Each step was calculated, each breath controlled. They encountered alien defense mechanisms that would have stopped any conventional military unit, but they weren't conventional. Specialized weapons neutralized alien defensive systems. Quantum disruptors broke down molecular bonds, creating temporary gaps in their technological defenses. Adaptive camouflage allowed operatives to move through seemingly impassable barriers. When they found Yunji, she wasn't a helpless victim. She was a strategic asset. Restraints that were designed to hold her had become her own tools of resistance. She had been collecting data, understanding alien systems, preparing for this moment. The extraction was brutal and precise. No unnecessary confrontations, no prolonged fights, just pure, efficient human determination. Alien researchers found themselves suddenly disconnected, their systems disrupted, their primary research subject vanishing. Medical scans confirmed Yunji was physically intact. Psychologically, she was stronger than anyone expected. The experience hadn't broken her. It had transformed her into something more dangerous. As they escaped, Yunji began sharing critical intelligence, detailed information about Karax vulnerabilities, their technological weaknesses, potential attack strategies. What began as her abduction would now become humanity's most significant tactical advantage. The Phantom disappeared from the alien station as quickly as it had arrived. No dramatic explosions, no extended battle. Just a surgical, precise extraction that left the Karax more terrified than any direct confrontation could. Humanity had sent a message. We will find you. We will rescue our own. And we will make you pay. The return journey was quiet. Each team member understood the significance of what had just happened. This wasn't just a rescue mission. This was the beginning of something much larger. A cosmic reckoning was coming. The human fleet assembled at the edge of the solar system was unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed. Hundreds of specialized spacecraft, each designed with technologies developed from Yunji's intelligence, waited in perfect formation. Admiral Jae-hyun Kim watched the holographic display, his fingers tracing potential attack vectors. Yunji's detailed research had revealed critical vulnerabilities in the Karax civilization. Their technological advancement masked fundamental weaknesses in their biological structure and communication networks. Humanity would exploit every single one of those weaknesses. The first wave of attack targeted the Karak's communication infrastructure. Quantum signal disruptors created cascading failures across their entire network. Entire planetary communication systems collapsed within minutes. The Karak's leadership found themselves suddenly blind and disconnected. Specialized human ships moved like predators. They weren't just attacking, they were systematically dismantling an entire civilization. Each strike was calculated, each movement precise. The Karaks had no time to understand, no time to respond. Planetary defense systems fell one by one. Advanced human technologies penetrated shields that had previously been considered impenetrable. Quantum-based weapons broke down molecular structures, turning advanced alien technologies into dust. On the primary Karak's research world, entire cities disappeared in moments. Not through conventional destruction, but through advanced technological neutralization. Energy systems collapsed, biological infrastructures failed, technological networks were completely erased. Yunji stood on the bridge of the lead battleship, her eyes reflecting the tactical displays. She was no longer just a rescued scientist. She had become the strategic mind behind humanity's most significant counterattack. The Karak's leadership watched in horror. Their most advanced research stations became graveyards of technology. Entire planetary systems that had taken millennia to develop were dismantled in hours. Humanity moved with a precision and ruthlessness that defied their understanding. Military strategists had prepared for multiple scenarios. But this wasn't just a military operation. This was a complete systematic elimination of a potential threat. Every Karak's facility, every research center, every potential staging ground was targeted and neutralized. Advanced AI systems coordinated the attack, processing millions of tactical decisions per second. Human ships moved like a single, intelligent organism. No wasted movement, no unnecessary confrontation. Pure, efficient destruction. Psychological warfare played a critical role. Human communication systems broadcast clear messages. This wasn't about conquest. This was about protection. This was about sending an unambiguous message to the universe. The Karaks had made a fundamental mistake. They had viewed humans as potential research subjects. They had believed their technological superiority made them untouchable. Now they understood the true meaning of human determination. Entire planetary ecosystems were transformed. Advanced terraforming technologies turned Karak's worlds into uninhabitable zones, not through destruction, but through precise environmental manipulation. Their worlds became tombs of their own technological arrogance. Communication intercepts revealed the complete breakdown of Karak's civilization. Their leadership collapsed, their research networks destroyed, their entire societal structure dismantled. Humanity had not just defeated them, they had erased their potential as a threat. Admiral Kim's voice was calm as he gave final attack coordinates. "Complete the mission," he said simply. No anger, no emotion. Just pure, calculated determination. The final wave of attacks was surgical. Not a single unnecessary action, not a single wasted resource. Each strike was a message. Each destroyed facility a warning to any civilization that might consider threatening humanity. As the last Karak's defense systems fell, a new understanding emerged in the cosmic ecosystem. Humanity was not just another species to be studied or controlled. Humanity was a force to be respected. The counterattack lasted less than 48 hours, but its implications would echo through galactic civilizations for generations. The Karaks had kidnapped one human. Humanity had responded by rewriting the rules of cosmic conflict. The final stage of humanity's retribution began with absolute silence. Space itself seemed to hold its breath as human vessels surrounded the remaining Karak's worlds. Yunji stood on the bridge of the lead battleship, her eyes reflecting the cold determination of an entire species. Surviving Karak's leadership watched in complete terror. Their advanced civilization, built over thousands of years, was about to be erased in moments. Humanity's approach was clinical, precise, and utterly devastating. Quantum bombardment began. It wasn't traditional destruction. It was molecular disassembly. Entire planetary systems began to collapse from their fundamental structures. Cities that had stood for millennia simply ceased to exist. No explosions, no dramatic destruction, just complete systematic elimination. Each strike carried a message. This wasn't just revenge. This was a demonstration of human capability. The Karax had believed humans were weak, experimental subjects. Now they understood the true meaning of human protection. Advanced weapon systems targeted every possible Karax infrastructure: research stations, communication networks, biological reproduction centers. Nothing was left untouched. The precision was terrifying. Each strike calculated to maximum effect with minimum unnecessary destruction. Yunji analyzed tactical displays, her fingers moving across holographic interfaces. She had transformed from a kidnapped scientist to the strategic mind behind humanity's most significant cosmic response. Every piece of intelligence she had gathered during her captivity now became a weapon. The Karax tried to communicate. Desperate transmission attempts were broadcast across multiple frequencies, but humanity had already neutralized their communication systems. Their pleas disappeared into the void of space, unheard and unanswered. Planetary ecosystems began to fail. Advanced terraforming technologies turned Karax worlds into uninhabitable zones. Atmospheric compositions changed. Radiation levels shifted. Fundamental environmental structures collapsed. These worlds would become permanent warnings. Admiral Jae-hyun Kim watched the final stages with cold calculation. No emotion, no anger. Just pure strategic execution. Humanity was sending a message that would echo through cosmic civilizations for generations. Strategic AI systems coordinated the final assault. Millions of tactical decisions processed each second. No wasted movement, no unnecessary confrontation. Pure, efficient elimination of a potential threat. Some Karax ships attempted escape, but human tracking technologies were already 3 steps ahead. Each vessel was systematically identified, tracked, and neutralized. There would be no survivors to tell the story. The destruction wasn't just physical, it was psychological. Humanity demonstrated an ability to completely dismantle an advanced civilization with surgical precision. No massive explosions, no dramatic space battles, just complete calculated elimination. As the final Karax worlds collapsed, a new understanding emerged in the cosmic ecosystem. Humanity was not just another species to be studied or controlled. Humanity was a force that protected its own with absolute determination. Yunji watched the final moments of the Karax civilization. What had begun with her kidnapping was now ending with the complete elimination of her captors. Not through rage, but through calculated, precise response. The operation lasted less than 72 hours, but its implications would be remembered for centuries. The universe had learned a critical lesson about humanity's resolve. One final transmission was sent. Not a declaration of war, not a threat. Simply a clear, direct message. Do not touch humans. Silence returned to space. The Karax civilization had been erased. Not a single trace remained. Just a cold, empty reminder of what happens when a species underestimates humanity's capacity for protection. The burning worlds went dark. Humanity had spoken. The message was clear. We protect our own.